This is a little bit about the human story and the fun part of the background of the Prairie, the Theraphi.net, our therapeutic bi-fi technology. Paul's background is really an expert in hands-on alchemy. Alchemy is true implosion, isotope transition, non-destructive collapse, actually, which was Einstein's keyword. And so we had been doing this research, and we had this new equation, and we understood now that we could actually apply this to plasma science. The miracle was that Paul had the skills in plasma, electronics, to design a bifilar Tesla coil. And I mean, I find it totally impressive that you could custom wind that coil.
Well, it was great. It was a really fun time. And you said, do you think we could incorporate these frequencies into some kind of machine? I was like, it's possible. After, about a year's worth of work, we've come to this point, and I've been building Rife-type machines and technologies like that for 20 years or so.
And Brown's gas,
Brown's gas generation,
monatomic hydrogen,
water technologies, hydrogen, oxygen therapies, ozone. And so this I consider really the pinnacle of work so long over the years. The nice thing about this unit is being able to capture the phase conjugation. Now, Lakowski was really close. Priori wasn't really using the dual tube method the way we're doing here. This is similar to what Lakowski was, and Rife definitely was not anywhere near that. The beauty of this system in having such a high power solid state amplifier, because you got to remember those guys were doing everything back in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, we had the modern electronic amplifier.
And
beautiful.
This is their dream. If they were still alive today, they would just be like jaw drop like this today, because what they really are is high current switching IGBTs that can control the power that comes into this thing. And back in those days, they had massive transformers.
That's why Priori spent millions.
Yes, air coils, and you look at Priori's photos. Well, he's got radar dishes and tube amplifier equipment like this.
Yeah, that's right.
And here it is. We've got it boiled down to solid state electronics in a convenient handy pack like this.
It's amazing. And yet deliver 500,000 volts as needed. And the other miracle there was that you could take the low frequencies and very accurately modulate in phase onto the high.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was part of Paul's skill.
And the great thing is this is just the beginning. We've got lots of future plans here to be able to do biofeedback enhancements. And
even Priori, he saw that if you synchronize the pulse wave to the peak of the EKG, which is the compression best moment for the body, and we have all that modulation capability built in, and of course to modulate to other frequencies and
set up, and it's like the system is all prepared for all these future applications that are going to come down the road.
And yet already, even in its basic mode, almost everyone who has used it has had some kind of amazing
stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is not a claim, but you can talk to them, and you will see that swelling reduction to a melanoma kind of thing, to back pain, so many things are related to hydration, which is basic compression, the opposite of swelling, and non-destructive compression is the opposite of cancer, quite literally. So centripetal force restored is the center of restoring self-organization and healing, everywhere from Schauberger to implosion science. To
Schauberger is another good name. To understand the concepts that, like, ideally, like these are vortex tubes. The plasma is actually in a vortex. On one side, it's counter-rotating to the other, and
pine cones kissing noses.
Pine cones kissing,
And the pine cones have kissed noses very accurately, very like the mirror image. And if you study the physics from phase conjugate optics, you see that that was the first time physics ever discovered self-organization. And that's what your body wants to do. That's why it feels kind of euphoric when you play with it. So we suggest you do.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Talking today about these unique device capability of different frequencies into these, specifically a very unique by Dan Winter based on phi ratio, length and Planck's time, 1,000 volts, and plasma tubes with about that component results. A lot of people see this, they go, oh, it reminds me of a Rife machine. And similar type of technology, many things, and electrical transmission systems, and particularly with X-ray too. I definitely believe that this will be the future wavelengths of light, and what he isolated was future situations. Two different viruses, one called B, high voltage plasma, infect his rat with these viruses and grow tumors within them. The rats with, and he grow typically was, and then he would an operation to remove the tumor, we get it back again, medical device. And he had an anode, and doctors at the time had given him 13 terms. They would live to old age. Cured all, get his device. Principal cancer patients, which he phase relationship. Client could actually sit with. The concept here was what running irrigation 150 or the with a continuous tube to feel the it's basically what's going on here. Resonator 180 degrees out of phase, Variac 1000 volts. Amplifier, this here tubes can go in their own. Basically, you spread these apart if you want to do a bill that here, and it's very large. It's location you can put your box, but the whole thing's on your hand. And if you want a case, you simply separate the tubes, and you can stand in the center. Tissue in about 10. Many of the volunteers who try it out and. Now, so this is the first prototype, producing more of these and have interesting testimonials.
This is about the
who are willing to
plasma healing, largely by Lukovsky, and
that will be real soon.
Work applying those frequencies, but he was inspired largely by Priory, who spectral or including more higher frequency system was a plasma system, noble gas plasma. Now, one thing to know about noble gases, the reason they're called noble is because obviously the outer electron shell symmetry is more platonic, more conjugate, more fractal, more implosive. Quite why they're noble. So the reason the noble gases then serve so well, bioac conjugators. That's our keyword here, atombioactivefield.com. After spending millions of dollars, was quite successful. The French government documented plasma, a gas, the cancer, actually healed. Unique combination of noble gases, healing technology was anti-swelling, anti-cyst. You know, I have been studying, and we take it to Priory, and Priory and tumor reduction proven is the mathematics documented, lots of literature. Feel free to look at the PDFs, Theraphi.phase conjugate the geometry of the wave mechanics of implosion and cones, kissing noses, Implosion Group. So if you take that, we say that nicely, and then just whole number exponents, everyone agrees. What is the exact duration of the Earth here, electric field looks like. And the eye of hydrogen, new equation, and you get newly proved of hydrogen, and you get the frequencies of the Schumann harmonic cascade, Y, Guy, Planck, length and time, visualize the sun. Turns out, and this is what we learned, and you multiply by X, these pre-reused your exponent. Plasma, hello! Now we know the principle. It's called the key signature of all of collapse wave, the exact two-fusion. Again, pine cones kissing noses, exact opposites. So the bioactive field is precisely focused. Was the first proof that physics ever had that negentropy, self-organization, was possible field. And optics, time reversal, self-organization is a tumor, solid physics and phase conjugate for the sort of. Now, if you made a graph of that harmonic cascade, so we took the frequencies pre-reused and we fixed it, we tuned it up, we perfected it. The trigger frequencies, kilohertz, and way out for it, like which frequency cascade, now pure it's a path. So if a cell turns spherical, it's called cancer, and if a cell doesn't respond precisely with the propagated UV, that's how you define cancer. And if biology, so this is there. For example, remember, every doctor would agree that the distribution, apparently this is a light, Lukovsky was doing this capacity. We're yourself. We're not making claims here, but you should look because it's lots of documentation. But if a biophysicist is asking you, well, how does cell, before it drives meiosis, mitosis, the DNA replication, have the shortest wavelength of cell mechanics, which is a high-quality ultraviolet light, the blue fire of the cell. It's going to replicate, it's going to divide. But if you provide a path out for the high-quality ultraviolet, if you take a harmonic cascade, broad spectral phase conjugation, which is what you provide a path through center implosively for the distribution of the creative juice, the ultraviolet of that cell. So is the opposite of cancer. And cancer is a cell that forgot how to distribute its charge. It's very simple. And how do you distribute perfectly? Phase conjugate, fractal field. Fractal field is perfected charge distribution. So it's teaching fractalfield.com or Theraphi.net.
proof of concept for bioactive fields in general. We have bioactive field plasma, we're going to have technology. We invite you to find out for yourself. Again, we're not making claims, but we're saying that pure physics is